You ever wondered if there's more than life than just rehabbing houses? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you the hidden gems of wholesaling real estate and how you can make $10,000 a month just by signing pieces of paper. We've all seen those flip those house shows. I mean, those shows inspired me back in the day as well. And we also watch shows like HGTV. But the reality to those shows and the reality of my situation, I went to renovate and flip my first house. Well, me and my partner, we end up losing $7,000 a piece, $14,000 on the deal back in 2007. Now, when you are flipping a house, there is risk involved, there's credit involved, and the variables and the stress of dealing with contractors. Yes, in theory, you pay a contractor, they do the work, the house is complete. Reality, you pay a contractor, you hope he comes back to work tomorrow. So these are things that you have to deal with rehabbing houses. And that's why if you can start making $10,000 a month without going through that, I strongly suggest that you should. With wholesaling houses, it can put you so much farther ahead of your competition because you're actually selling to the rehabber. Now, you might make $10,000 on the front end and he may make $20,000 after 3 months. So after 2 weeks, you make $10,000. 3 months, he makes 20. Now, which makes more sense? Obviously, 2 weeks, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. But let's get more intricate, right? You don't have to deal with the stress of the renovation. You don't have to deal with you hoping that a rehabber buys it. Don't think that everybody successful makes a bunch of money. There are horror stories with rehabbing houses, and I have plenty, and every other flipper has plenty as well. I rather wholesale than flip to sell. I'm telling you, it's much better because you don't want to deal with you buying a house, you having a $30,000 budget, and then you open up the floor and you notice that all the joists is rotten, and now you got to pay $15,000 and you have to pay it. And the lender's not giving it to you because that wasn't in the scope of work. So you have to come up with that money and get it done. Well, with wholesaling houses, you don't have to worry about any of that. That's all the flipper's problem. Now, with wholesaling houses, what you can do is you can actually get the property under contract. So let's say you got a property that's worth $200,000. You get it under contract for $100,000. You sell that contract, just the contract, for $10,000, making yourself $110,000. And the cash buyer, he decides if he wants to rent out that property or he wants to renovate and sell that property. But you're out of the equation, okay? You're out of it. You're just wholesaling houses, pushing paper. Notice, I didn't say anything about credit. I didn't say anything about putting up a bunch of money. And this strategy can literally set you free from your job, can set you free from other things that you don't want to be at, and you can literally just build a business that fits your life just around wholesaling houses. All you need is a laptop and a phone, and you are good to go. And some people, they don't even use a laptop. They do everything from their phone, but I'm a little older, so I kind of like the use of my laptop. Now, let's get into it. What you need is a motivated seller, all right? Now, what is a motivated seller? A motivated seller is a seller that doesn't want to sell, but they need to sell. So there's a difference. People who list their houses with the realtor and the realtor puts it on the MLS, which is what realtors use to look at properties, to buy and sell properties. Well, they put it on there, right? Well, and then hopefully a buyer comes along and buy it, right? But with those people, they're not, majority of the time, 90% of the time, they're probably not motivated. They don't need to sell quick, all right? We want to deal with people who need to sell quick. What does that mean? Well, foreclosure, divorce, taxes, burnt out landlords, job relocation. You know, the majority of the houses that we deal with as wholesalers will not qualify for traditional financing because there's work that needs to be done. Sometimes the realtors won't even list their house because they're like, well, just do this, do that, and I can sell it for this price. Call me back when you get these things done. I'll list the property. And the work that they pointed out is going to run the homeowner $30,000. Now, average savings in America is less than $400. So if you got less than $400 in your bank account and you got a $30,000 problem, and the solution is you sell the house as is, you're just taking less than the value, obviously you don't have a choice. But those are people you want to deal with, right? So how do you find these people? You find these people by looking at foreclosure lists, looking at tax delinquent lists, pulling a absentee owner list, okay? And these are just 3 lists that I named out of many, So therefore, and you start contacting these people. Now, once you have a list, what you want to do is skip trace that list. What is skip tracing? Skip tracing is finding the person's phone number online. Now, there are many services out there. I like to use bigskiptracing.com for me to find numbers. They're 15 cents a trace. So therefore, that's a good system for me. Maybe, hopefully it'll work for you as well. But with the bigskiptracing.com, I get the person's phone number, right? From the list, right? Now I got their phone number. So what do I do next? I can call or I can text them, okay? Call or text them, which I prefer texting, but we do cold call as well. So now I'm texting these sellers, hey, I'm Nasser, and I want to see if you're open to selling 123 Main Street. Now, let's say a seller is like, hey, listen, yes, I'm ready to get rid of it. Give me $100,000. Now, how do I know $100,000 is a good price? Well, what I want to do is I want to look at the comps. What are the comps? ARV, after repair value. And let's say the ARV on it is $210,000. Well, I know I got a good deal. So what I'm going to do, right? I can go in person or I can do the deal all over the phone. But we're going to sign a contract, right? You can email them a contract. You can do it in person. Now, don't focus on construction numbers, any of that. You don't even have to worry about that. You just want to get the deal low, all right? Just want to get the deal. Software is out there that will show you how to get the deal low, okay? So therefore, you just want to get the deal low. And from you getting the deal low, you will then shoot it out to a cash buyer, right? Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, what do I find a cash buyer at? There are many softwares that will give you cash buyers. Some will even give you the cash buyer in their phone number, And don't worry, just wait to the end. I'm going to give you the directions on how to get all that information and software. So therefore, right, once you get the cash buyers list, right, you got the contract with the seller. You're going to assign him the contract. The conversation is going to go like that. Hey, Mr. Buyer, listen, I got this property at 123 Main Street. I'm looking to get $110,000 for that particular property. And he says, all right, let me look at it. He looks at the property, right? You can be there. You don't have to be there. Maybe it's a lockbox on the door. He allows himself in with the code, and he looks at it. He said, hey, listen, let's wrap it up and let's do it. Well, what you're going to do at that point is you're going to assign him the contract. That's another sheet of paper. And from him assigning the contract, now you have the contract and the assignment, right? But you want to get a deposit from him. You got to make sure you get that deposit of, let's say, $1,000 non-refundable. You will give that to an attorney or a title company, depending on your state. So once you give it to the attorney of the $1,000, the attorney starts a title search, right? Now, once the attorney starts a title search, everything is good. On closing day, the buyer will wire in $109,000 plus closing costs. Why 109, not 110? Remember, he gave the $1,000 deposit, okay? So the seller will get 100,000, okay? You get a check for $10,000, he gets the house, everybody's happy. Simple as do, re, mi, 1, 2, 3. Shout out to Michael Jackson. Now, I know, flipping houses, rehabbing houses, yeah, it seems cool, it seems fun until you're in it. It's plenty of times where I'm making $50,000 on a wholesale and the rehabber is good with making $30,000 because he has to feed that machine. And the thing about it is, with me, I'm doing less risk. I don't have to deal with contractors. I don't have to line up hard money. I don't have to risk none of my capital, and I don't have to hope that a buyer comes along and doesn't need closing costs, etc. I don't have to worry about opening up a wall and I gotta replace all the wood in the wall. I don't have to worry about that with wholesaling houses. So I'm telling you, man, wholesaling houses is the way to go. So what I want you to do is click on the video next to me, wholesaling houses like a pro. In this video, it will give you all the tools and everything you need to start wholesaling houses today. Also, look for the pinned comment because I want to give you my 10 steps to wholesale houses for free. I'm Nasser, aka the real estate guru. I'm not a guru, I'm a guru because I actually do this business.